Sagittarius, your April reading, and late March coming into the month has been looking exactly like this. Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, triumphant, even, dare I say, smug because you're so pleased with yourself. Everybody wants a piece of you and everybody's really reinforcing like how much you're basically the shit, Sagittarius. So keep that energy going. You may have started to get noticed more at work. You may have started to get the approval that you've been looking for, and it's making you feel pretty good, pretty smug, pleased with yourself, and very fulfilled. This also looks like you getting, the support that you needed in terms of external validation, like you're doing a great job, keep it up, you're so respected here. Whatever kind of teamwork project you're involved in, people want to be talking to you about this, and people are like, attracted to your energy right now. You've got a lot of wand energy. Five of Wands, 10 of Wands, 2 of Wands, 7, 5, and 4 of Wands. So it's really fired up. So maybe this Sun transiting through Aries, fellow fire sign, is like revving you up a little more. The Knight of Pentacles. So because of how much you've been able to take on, it seems like people think that you're the kind of person that they can rely on and count on. And maybe you're finding like people are trying to pin you as the person that has to solve everybody else's problems recently. And the Knight of Pentacles is just showing that the reason that you're being headhunted at this time is because of your work ethic. It's because of your style and your nuance. You have this really like attractive personality at the moment where you're a good time, you're good company and a people's person, but also you know how to get the job done. And recently it does look like you've made a lot of headway with a particular project or goal of yours as you're entering into the month of Aries. Now, this is what happens in the month of April, I should say. We're going to clear up these cards and pull some more, but the Five of Swords, it looks like a little bit of shadow work that's necessary, and it seems to be about biting off more than you can chew, and 10 of Wands, you getting overwhelmed with saying yes to every single thing that comes up. 2 of Wands, it's not like you're saying no to anything at the moment, and there is this energy of, is there something that you need to work on, Sagittarius, and hold yourself accountable to? The Five of Swords, that you feel like you have to take on everything that's asked for you to prove some sort of your worth. And is your worth linked to your productivity and how much you can seem to carry? And like, there is a softening at the beginning of March around a situation, but for the most part, it's all this wand energy. There's a lot of, I have to do this on my own and I'm the only person that can do it. And sure, you may feel like you have the Midas touch on things and that could be reinforced for you. You don't have to say yes to everything. And I find that in April, there's a lot that you want to say yes to, and this could be just plans like, can you really go to the festival, the vacation? Can you really take on this at work? Like, is it that you need to say yes to everything to kind of fulfill some sort of an image that you're, or just an unfair expectation you're putting on yourself? We'll clear it up. But the shadow work in April looks to be about knowing when you've had enough, knowing when to say no and say, I can't handle this, or I need help, or I need to delegate something. This could also come up around making sure that you're weighing up who you are delegating things to properly, because if you do have the Midas touch on something, it is harder to surrender that, but you're learning from a guide or a mentor at the same time, and even if that guide or mentor is an inner voice for you telling you like you don't have to say yes to everything and your worthiness is not interwoven with your sort of productivity. The Seven of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Four of Wands. So towards the end of the month, we're getting some more fired up energy. So you're very ambitious, motivated, and busy towards the end of the month, but be wary of some sort of a domestic situation coming through where there is a lack of harmony in the home and living situation. Or if you feel like your work situation is very family sort of unit, or like very tight knit, as in knowing each other's kind of dilemmas and business and things like that, just be careful of the situation that starts to brew around the end of April coming into May. You have to really, stand your ground here. You could come off a little abrasive even. You're very passionate about the cause, the situation, and the work dynamic or family dynamic is getting a little dicey, or it's just kind of like heating up a little bit like that. So we'll clear it up and see what else is coming through. For now, let's start clearing up these cards. I've got the Six of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, or the Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. I'm seeing a lot of fire energy here, like dealing with an Aries or a Libra or sorry, a Leo or even another Sagittarius. It's very fiery energy coming through. So let's see what's been happening towards the end of March going into April that's kind of resulted in you having more of a pep in your step. Oh, the Three of Swords. How peppy, how peppy, right? The Knight of Swords. Wow, okay, so somebody external to you is really like in between their show of strength. So strength reversed and Nine of Wands. So there's like, it's like every time you interact with this person, they're either all or nothing. So like they're fully in or fully out, it seems like. And it seems like there's a kind of back and forth Lovers card underneath that. About like the towel, throwing the towel in, or really committing. The Three of Swords and the Knight of Swords. This would have been something that, you know, was stirred up around late March into April that resulted in you feeling betrayed by a person that, you know, you had put basically like a lot of hope in towards. The air signs are coming through here. Knight of Swords is Gemini for me, and the Lovers card being Gemini, but also Leo with the Lion card here, the Strength card. Dealing with a Gemini or a Leo, perhaps Sagittarius, you may have got your heart broken by something of some of these people. It doesn't have to be that sign, but whatever was stirred up, it was like, oh, pointing out to you how good a certain area of your life is going. And maybe when you like kind of ripped the band-aid off and faced up to what the lesson around this relationship, around this project, around this kind of energy, if it was a manager or somebody you're working with, it really revealed a lot to you. And I mean, like, you only saw other areas of your life improve once you faced the truth about another situation. The Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, you're still like pretty ambitious around the situation that hurt you. So it does seem like you're maybe still like involved there, still working for the company, still involved with the person that maybe hurt you, broke your heart, betrayed you, stabbed you in the back. The Knight of Swords, I guess, is kind of, especially at work, they're the person that's really just out for themselves and work, wanting to make sure that they're getting noticed. They want to make sure that it looks like they're doing a better job than you, and not just you, anybody else. That's that kind of personality here. And you're like, oh hey, I thought we were cool, like I thought we were sociable outside of work or something like that. And it's like, no, this person like really like can drop any kind of attachment just to get ahead, it seems like, for some, which is hurtful for you maybe. If this is a romantic situation, as this kind of light is shone on this romantic situation and the cracks are now beginning to be revealed, it seems like another area of your life just shut off really quickly, and you're like, oh wow, that hadn't been moving for me for a while. I wonder what I changed energetically for that to like move on. There could have been like a level of acceptance or something that was coming through for you, Sagittarius. Let's look at the month of April. So this is when I think that you're going to be almost called to do even more, to take on even more, to say yes again, to say I'll do it. And the shadow work is coming through, as I'm like, are you self-sabotaging here, and are you shirking what your goals are to say yes to other people and to accommodate them? Let's have a look at the Five of Swords, Ten of Wands, and the Two of Wands now. And Sagittarius, while I have you, if you're watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out and get my message to more Sagittariuses. Two of Cups, okay. And the Hermit card. So it could be a romantic situation that is under review at the moment. If this is a person that expects a lot from you, that always wants you to kind of do the heavy lifting, that always wants you to kind of go the extra mile and really like sacrifice a lot, you know. You have this under review because you are considering the sacrifices you've made, and like it does seem like, Sagittarius, your love language in this here is acts of service, and you know, acts of service, even maybe physical touch, and you're kind of been at a loss, because while you may have no problem saying, yes, I'll do that for you, that yes, I'll do that favor for you, oh, I can swing by and collect that for you, all of these things. The 10 of Wands, what's that really doing? Like, are you giving that to yourself too? It's so wonderful if that's, you know, the love you're able to give, amazing. But it's important that we give ourselves our own love language too. It's so important to love ourselves just as much. So if you have been avoiding any of your responsibilities to say yes to other people, and then in turn feeling like a little burdened or bogged down by them, it may just be a kind of calling. And I think this is our first major arcana card so far, the Hermit. It seems like you need some time alone, you need some time to reflect, you need some time to examine the relationships in your life, examine all of the times, you know, you just say yes when really maybe you want to say no. And you're asked, you know, how are you giving yourself the love that you give other people? If your love language is acts of service, well, we hope then, you know, that we're not avoiding any of our responsibilities, or we have deadlines or bills to pay. We have to be able to service ourselves and give those kind of favors and you know, all of that to ourselves too. So that could be what's coming under review. Other than that, maybe Sagittarius, you turn a corner this month in April where you're kind of looking back over everything you've gone through so far, and you're kind of seeing the times that you allowed yourself be taken advantage of, that you allowed yourself be belittled even, or exploited or used in a situation, and you're like, wow, I really should have seen that. And that could be just something that plays out as another test in the month of April. Like, have you learned enough? Have you really gone within and seen that, you know, you were depleted in these situations? And in April, you may see that energy pop up again to see how far you've come around that. So the 7 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands. Right. So you have to fight for what you believe in, standing your ground in the home and living situation. Maybe there is a kind of issue brewing there that requires your attention. We've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, so your Jupiter planetary ruler in reverse here with the Wheel of Fortune, and the Lover's card again. So this just seems like I mean, you get to see a situation more clearly, even if it's not exactly what you want. The Wheel of Fortune provides us with a sense of fate, which is something that happens without any of our own influence. And I feel like, you know, the Wheel of Fortune is saying, like, yeah, well, you may find yourself in the right place at the right time where it's some part of it feels out of alignment, but when you can maybe go back and look over the situation again, you see that that happened for a reason, even if it wasn't exactly what you wanted at the time. It looks like a change of plans towards the end of April. It looks like making a decision that maybe surprises other people in your life, even maybe very important people in your life. The Lover's card. Maybe, you know, you start vocalizing that you want to move in with somebody. Maybe you start vocalizing that the home and living situation you find yourself in now is ready for a change. You need to free things up a little bit. It's been a while coming. Maybe this change has been a long time coming, but you are you're making lemonade with your lemons, basically. So a situation comes about where nothing is wrong at the end of the month. You're very motivated to fight your corner and, like, you know, not back down, and you are showing a show of strength. But when life hands you lemons, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, you are able to make something more of it, and it kind of shows it kind of puts a spotlight on your alliances. It kind of puts a spotlight on your teammates and who's kind of there for you and everything like that. You know, when they say, like, be careful how you treat people on the way up, because you never know when you will meet them on the way down or on their way up. So it's kind of like a rolling with the punches energy, but you're like, oh, wasn't expecting that necessarily for that to turn out like that in late April. But you know what? It gives me a lot more freedom of movement, a lot more freedom of choice. And if there is a situation, 6 of Swords, 6 of Cups, especially from the past that has been spoken around about recently, that's been bothering you in any way, it does seem like how things unfold for you gives you a lot more freedom from a situation from the past, and like a clearer route away from that as such. Okay, well, that was your April reading. I hope that you got some messages there that resonated for you, but of course, just take what resonates and leave the rest. And thank you again for watching. I'll see you soon.